Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into the world of consumer law, with a story about a savvy consumer who outsmarted the system. This isn't just about buying a couch or a fridge, it's about understanding the rules of the game so well that you win without even fighting. As Sun Tzu said, the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. And in this case, the enemy is debt. Let's get into it. Meet John. John wanted to buy some household goods, a new washer and dryer, a dining table, and a few other essentials. But John had a problem. He didn't want to go into debt. He didn't want to deal with monthly payments, interest rates, or the risk of losing his assets if things went south. So, John decided to do something most people don't even think about. He used consumer law to his advantage. His goal was simple: acquire the goods he needed without creating any future debt obligations, and he did it. Here's how. First, John used a letter of credit. Now, a letter of credit is like a promise from a bank that they'll pay the seller directly, as long as John meets certain conditions. It's not a loan, it's a guarantee. John worked with his bank to issue a letter of credit to the seller of the household goods. This way, the seller got paid up front and John didn't have to take out a loan or use a credit card. But here's the kicker. John made sure the letter of credit was accompanied by a hold harmless indemnity agreement. This agreement basically said, if anything goes wrong, the seller can't come after me. It's like wearing a suit of armor in a pillow fight. You're protected no matter what. John was very clear about one thing. This transaction was not speculative. He wasn't buying these goods to resell them or trade them on secondary markets. He wasn't trying to make a profit. He was buying them for personal use, to enrich his household and improve his quality of life. This distinction is crucial. By avoiding speculative commerce, John ensured that no third parties could claim an interest in his goods. He wasn't releasing any rights or interests to anyone else. The goods were his, free and clear, from the moment he bought them. Now let's talk about that. This document is a game changer. It basically says, if something goes wrong, if the goods are defective, if there's a dispute, if the seller tries to come after me, I'm not liable. John's strategy is a perfect example of Sun Tzu's philosophy: winning without fighting. He didn't argue with the seller, he didn't go to court, he didn't even raise his voice. Instead, he used the law to his advantage, setting up the transaction in a way that protected him from the start. By using a letter of credit and a hold harmless indemnity agreement, John ensured that the transaction was clean, clear, and free from future complications. He didn't just buy household goods, he bought peace of mind. Now let's break down the essential steps John took to make this happen. First, research. John spent time understanding consumer law, letters of credit, and indemnity agreements. Second, preparation. He worked with his bank and a lawyer to draft the necessary documents. Third, negotiation. He made sure the seller agreed to the terms before moving forward. And fourth, execution. He finalized the transaction with all the legal protections in place. These steps might seem like a lot of work, but for John, it was worth it. He didn't just buy household goods, he bought freedom from debt and legal headaches. So what can we learn from John's story? First, knowledge is power. Understanding consumer law can save you from a world of trouble. Second, planning is key. By setting up the transaction correctly from the start, John avoided future problems. If you're thinking about making a big purchase, take a page out of John's book. Do your research, protect yourself with the right documents, and remember, the best way to win is to avoid the fight altogether. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button. And if you've got questions or stories about using consumer law to your advantage, drop them in the comments below. Until next time, stay savvy, stay informed, and keep winning without fighting.